All right. Hello everybody. You know, you know me. My name is Zanza. For those who don't know, and I play Galaxy along with person here today. His also name is Connie. If you want to say something real fast.
Hello.
And today I'm presenting you two deck types, Photon and Tachyon. So this is the intro. I'm gonna be using clips for myself, another channel called Countercast, and then Farfa.
Now Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and all his little friends. His many little friends. Jesus fuck, more of them than Max C.
So if you didn't know, this is the fifth largest archetype, and behind next to it is Performer Pal, Archfiend. Number two is Numbers. The number exceeds monsters, and we all know number one is Heroes. But anyways, a brief history about. You can go in any different direction, and you probably still achieve the same boards. You have some one card combos, and then a lot of it resolves around two. So there's like your main, well, one of your main guys, the most recent support. Wing is a level 4 that on normal, it will special summon another copy for itself. It will white lock you for the rest of the turn. And then the secondary effect is a battle flow. It would prevent your opponent from attacking. And was good against, Tempai. That just didn't read at all. There's an element of surprise. But this is like a 1.5 card combo. The 2 card. You can end on 2 rank 8s like Lord or Hope Harbinger or 107 with Transmigration. It's often a 3-0. And here it is, I'm playing the combo right now. So when you're just gonna get like Primal. You're gonna summon Primal. You get 7 Tachyon. You're gonna reveal 107 to get after. Then you return whatever card you don't need. This is without trance. You can overlay into Dragluxion. And you're gonna get 100 mostly. You're gonna send Jumper, get yourself Expedition. Or you can send Emperor too if you really want. But this is for follow up. After going into detach, it will summon a guy from deck or Galaxy from deck. And then there's your first extra deck banner. We'll get to that later. We'll get to the spot. You can activate Expedition, summon Soldier from deck or Emperor, but I do follow up. Or if you play 2 Promo, you could just, instead of Hope Harbinger, you can make 107. And then Lord on the opponent's turn, you will get Primal, second. Then Wizard is now a lot better now, but it still isn't the best compared to Wing. The Wizard's effect isn't once per turn, it's soft. So you contribute it to add any Galaxy card. And you're going to be summoning this. Well, you're going to summon it normally, like with your normal. And then once you use Emperor's effect, you can get like Summoner in rotation to revive it, and then use its effect again if you ever need it for anything. And here it is. So Wizard, you're going to be locked into the archetype if you do this. You're going to send Jumper again, get Galaxy Trance. You're going to summon War Drake or, War Drake and Jumper, overlay the Galaxy Photon. And then you're going to get Primal. It's the same as the Wing, but different routing. So I actually went for Vanisher. Because War Drake will actually summon itself from graveyard if you special summon another level 4 light monster. they're gonna make Star Leech. He's gonna summon Galaxy Ash from hand, and they can make a rank 8. It is serviceable. Like your board is like kind of annoying and like hard to deal with. They don't have nothing that like doesn't target it. It's like non-targeting. The Galaxy Soldier is like probably your best card in the deck, at least best monster. Level 5 Light Machine. Send a light from your hand to the graveyard. Special, but the special summon effect isn't once per turn as long as you have light. So discard this or discard Jumper or Emperor to get like maximum value. It has been used in Cyber Dragon and a. So here's what I'm pairing it with Jumper. So you're normally gonna add like. So you're normally gonna add Wizard off it, but if you're like deep in the combo, you can get like Primal, and that works too. So you can do the same thing again as like before. But you're gonna send Emperor instead this time. Since you have 2 normals, you're gonna get a Trippy Wizard, get Summoner, summon Revive Wizard, and then Wizard will use it effective. So you can go Expedition or Primal right here, but so I'm doing the Cypher Dragon line. So once you make Lord with that, with Lord Dragon, whatever of a level 4, Cypher Dragon, rank up into Cypher X Dragon because you're gonna detach after. And then you can just link off. And then you're gonna get Afterglow again because you kind of need. And there's your second rank 8. See, I went with 107 this time because of Lord on the enemy's turn will grab Primal, and then you have Transmigration live. Now the rest is just the extender, so like, you've seen it already. Vanisher on special summon just adds 1 copy from hand deck to hand. Instead of going to the graveyard. So you're just gonna play this at 1 normally. Orbital is like optional, you don't have to play it, but you can play it at 1 or 0. So it will equip itself onto like any of your guys, and then adds 1 of those from deck to hand. But there were some like shenanigans back in the day when Union Carrier was still legal. So you would just equip Orbital, then that kind of gets you started. And it won't lose the call by the grave. This is your like spell and trap searcher. We get sent to the graveyard. But it also is a battle fan. It will like protect you. It was really good in like Tenpai format. And it still is. If you need to like save yourself. So you're gonna be sending this with Galaxy Soldier, 100, or Foolish Baron. So you can play this at 2 normally. The Summoner is on normal or special, will target any of your guys in graveyard and special. And second effect, if you target a light monster, it will change its level to before. You're normally going to use this on Galaxy Soldier, the targeting level, but you can use it on Afterglow too if you want to overlay into Galaxy Photon. And it's on, and once we get to the Exceeds, I'll tell you more about it. But this is your second normal summon usually. Here we go, the level 8. Emperor is is a retrainer of Caesar, but if it's sent from the field to the graveyard and you control any Photon or Galaxy monster, or one of them is in your graveyard, you can special summon it. And when it's summoned, you get another additional normal summon of a light. And it's on a once per turn. But both of these effects are independent of each other. So if you summon this off Expedition, you get the normal summon effect. But if Emperor is used as like overlay material, it will come back because of the effect. The summon itself from graveyard.
Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is a genocidal maniac, which is actually really funny.
You know, here's the main guy. Just acts like Blue Eyes, doesn't do anything. But, you know, you can special summon it, but triggering 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack. The effects, his effects are like just inconsequential. So, this is used for like the Xyz format back in the day, but not really. If you play this in Tachyon, you're going to play it at 1 alongside Afterglow. But in Photon, you're playing this at 2. So, here we are at Afterglow. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, you can special summon this from hand. But if it's detached to activate a Xyz monster, you can summon Galaxy Eyes from deck or hand, or attach it to any Xyz monster. And then if this is done during the battle phase, all numbered Xyz monsters have their attack done. So this is like your OTK and this is what you don't really want to see in the open. You can play this at 62, C62 for leaf. But if you detach it off 107, that's also fine. And for turn 1 purposes, you're gonna be using this for Cypher, because that's the only like real way to detach turn 1. Next up is the spells, which isn't really much to go on about because you already seen them in action. So 100 is, you know, the card we already went about. So it's a Foolish Burial, but if you summon a Galaxy Eyes from any place, you can banish 1 monster from your opponent's extra deck, or special summon 1 number monster. Your targets for this are mostly Jumper and or War Drake, played at 3 in Pure. So, and for your numbers target, you can get like Old Harbinger, Lord, Kragan, if you're not like locked, and Baguska during the opponent's turn, so you can effectively floodgate them with their own like floodgate. But so Expedition is like, you know, pretty simple. If you control a Galaxy or Photon monster, a level 5 or higher, special summon another one from your deck that's level 5 or higher. Your targets for this are mostly going to be Afterglow or Tachyon Primal, or the 3 monsters I mentioned, but you're just going to play that. This is like one of your the biggest spell cards in your deck. By paying 2,000 life points, you can target 1 Photon monster in your graveyard, special summon that one, and then 1 Galaxy monster from your deck with the same level, and their effects are negated. After this, you're locked into the archetype. But also, the ruling with this, you can't like use this afterwards. So say if you summon like a different monster that doesn't belong to the archetype, you can't use it at all. It becomes a dead card. So your targets for this is usually Jumper and War Drake to go on the Photon. So Numbers Last Hope is pretty much your anime moment. You're gonna target 2 monsters in your graveyard, same level, to immediately XZ summon a number monster. The lock to this being you can only special summon 1 more time for the extra. This is like your final push for game if you have nothing else. But also as turn 1 uses, you're not gonna use that most. Alright, here we are, the extra. It is more of the unique ones, not really using any of the generic common cards you will see. All of them providing like different forms of utility. You have negation, destroying, taking control, taking your own cards from, targeting and destruction. And OTK power, finding lethal damage at like any given moment.
And our boss monsters ain't bad either. Hell, I can pretty safely say that Galaxies have one of the best extra decks in the game. Need monster negates? Photon Lord, baby. Spells going off in the grave? Hope Harbinger. Need beatdown? Tachyon comes with a potential free hand trap too. Beard clearing? Full armor and Cypher Blade. And here we are today.
So Photon or Starleech Photon Blaster is a generic rank 4. Upon being Xyz summoned, it special summons a photon from your hand. While this Xyz summon card is on your field, it protects all your monsters with 2k attack or more. You can't target. The downside to this is that itself is not 2000 attack. But during the opponent's turn, you can target one Galaxy Eyes in your banishment or graveyard and special summon it to your field. But if you have Orbital or Photon Dragon on the field, it will gain enough attack for itself to be protected. This has also been used in Ryzium. I don't know if it's still being used today, but this was like early days for Ryzium. At least to protect detonate. So this is like one of your main monsters you're gonna go to like early in the combo. It is a generic rank 4. You can add one of your guys for one card, or send it to the graveyard. If you special summon a light monster, you can change it from 4 to 8. 4 or 8. But it all depends on board state, what you're gonna fold it. You can add Primal or Jumper Emperor, as like I said before. But if you're gonna use this in Fiendsmith variants, you can make it in Graveyard 4 or 8. Whatever you need. It has been used in Super Every Samurai first turn kills. You can play this at 2 or 1. Photon Lord is also a generic rank 8, but if it has its first line is it has a photon card's material, can be destroyed. But if it detaches one to negate a monster effect, and if it was a Galaxy card, it also destroys it. But during your opponent's turn, you can add one Photon or Galaxy card from deck to hand, or attach it to Lord as material. It is one of your bigger negations, performed much better in the home archetype. And the benefit to it is that nobody reads the first line of text for Lord in Galaxy. So they usually try to destroy it and then realize nothing happens. But it has been used with like Snake Eyes or any decks that can make rank 8s. Here's Hope Harbinger. Your spell negation, but also attaches that card to itself as material. It is on the soft once per turn. So if you have multiple, so say you use the first effect and then you summon another one, that second one's effect is alive. Also, it also has attack redirect. It'll change whatever attack target to itself. And the secret third effect, if another Xyz monster you control is destroyed, it can target any other Xyz monster you control, including itself, and gain half of the original attack. All these aren't once per turn either. And also one of the more generic cards that make rank 8. Cypher is the next 3 cards is part of the Cypher pack. This one being Cypher Dragon, your rank 8 that you're gonna usually make, but it's gonna be it's a stepping stone for the other these monsters. By detaching one, it will take control of one of your monsters, and if you do, you can only attack directly with Cypher Dragon. Its effects are also negated, and the name becomes Galaxy Eye Cypher. It also is a soft once per turn, but it has turn 1 uses because of Primal now. If you can't lethal this turn, you better start going up into your other Xyz and break it apart, break the board apart. Also, you can also make cards like Expedition Live. After you go live, if you steal a level 5 or higher monster. Cypher Blade is also utility. You're just gonna detach it, or detach one material to destroy one card anywhere on the field. But if Cypher Blade was destroyed by battle card effect, it can revive Cypher Dragon from your graveyard. Cypher X Dragon is a rank 10. You can rank this up off of OG Cypher Dragon by detaching 2 materials to protect all your light monsters from being targeted until the end of your opponent's turn. But the wording from TCG, OCG is different. TCG is the wording is if you activate this, any light monster that you summon or on field already, summon after this are protected. But in OCG, any light monsters that you have like right now on your field are protected, but the ones you summon afterwards aren't. But on the next standby phase of your turn, you can stuff a 1 rank 9 or lower Dragon XZs back into your extra deck, and it can reuse itself as material to make that again. You're mainly going to use this for the afterglow effect, but you could fully use it like at the end of Tachyon. Full armor Photon Dragon is also simple. It detaches 1 face-up card on your opponent controls and just destroy it. But the second hidden effect is that it can target 2 equipped cards equipped to full armor and attaches them as material. This also is a soft one's return for both effects. Right, this is your like OTK enable. Prime Photon is a generic rank, but what it does is interacts. It uses the effect during damage calc, and not many cards can interact with during damage calculation. So if you detach Afterglow for this, you're hitting for over 10,000. But the damage is half if you do not have Galaxy Eyes as material. What you can do is detach Afterglow. You don't have it as material. You could just put it as material off Afterglow. And this is like also your main other way of OTK. C60. You can rank this up on top of a regular 62, but to start the battle phase, you could detach 1 material to make 2 attacks on all monsters. Then, if it has Galaxy Eyes as material, it becomes unaffected by your opponent's monster effects and gains attack equal to all combined levels ranks it has the material times 100. It will always guarantee lethal, and unless something happens, it will always guarantee lethal. It is a lot safer in most situations, but depends on board state. And this is your honorary link to as is one of the earlier link monsters actually with unique summoning requirement. Needing 2 light monsters with 1 having 2,000 attack. And upon it being link summoned, it could target 1 of your guys in graveyard and add it to your hand. But during the opponent's turn, you can discard 1 Photon and Galaxy monster. Or just 1 Galaxy Photon. And target 1 special summon monster you fully control and destroy it. It is good for recycling, and with Lord of Rotation, you can get Galaxy from deck to hand and discard it to pop a monster. The bonus synergy, if you discarded it and you have Photon Blast, you can summon it from graveyard, and 100 will trigger off. You can play it at 2 or 1, but 2 is generally preferred. The strengths and weaknesses. It can make very resilient boards that won't crumble, or things that target. It has extra deck knowledge and banishing key pieces, so it won't lose to Super Poly that hard if you banish targets. It can make up to 3 to 4 like interruptions, and you have like good OTK with them. It's okay going second because like it has so many extenders, but the problem is, as we're gonna get to right now, it has like not that many starters. It's also very normal summon reliant, and it needs other cards to do anything on the field. It can also break like really hard. And you can also like just lose to more common hand traps. But you can also like play through them if your like hand is good. It really just depends on what's going on. The next up is Next up is tech cards. Cards that are like optional to the strategy and like format dependent. This is Cleric, your pot of avarice. You could target. Well, it has the first effect is it can target Galaxy Exceeds and offer itself as material. But on normal or special, targets 5 cards in your graveyard, shuffle them back to the deck and draw 2. The Cleric is mostly for the grind. It can be looped every turn with Soul Flare or a Summoner. And you're gonna play this on 1-2. And War Drake, as you've seen before, upon if it's in the graveyard, you summon at level 4, special summon at level 4, it will trigger itself to revive. But banish it when it leaves the field. It's never gonna banish because you're gonna use the overlay material. But you're gonna be light locked for the rest of the turn. Hyper Galaxy is also like a quick play spell that attributes one of your monsters with 2,000 attack or more as cost, then targets one of your opponent's monster with 2k attack or more. Attribute that for effect. And if you do special summon one Galaxy Eyes from hand deck, or it can be good going second and even like going first. Especially when cards like one of your good cards like Soldier gets hit with any targeting interruption and it operates like Mass Change or the Rika field spell. I also have a replay going second against Primite Blue Eye. I'm not really gonna do the normal stuff. And I just skip ahead to my. So they don't end much. It's just spears and that's a cross out. They discarded the trap off of Wishes. But what's gonna happen is they're really resilient on keeping the spirit on board and now like tributing it for ultimate spirit, which won't happen like way later. So it's my turn. My hand is like really good. I can play most stuff. So I'm just gonna grab Jumper and do the Galaxy Soldier plus Jumper stuff. I'm gonna use Expedition to get Primal from deck. I know I'm not going to any lane, so I'm just going for this right now. I'm forcing the rank 8. So I'm making Lord right now. Because they don't want to get off or attribute the spirit. See, so now they do it, which is pretty much useless at this point. So Lord's gonna get bounced back to hand, which is fine. And Galaxy Eyes also is gonna be getting bounced back to hand. So I'm about to make full armor and destroy True Light. I also go to Cypher to destroy the back row, but everything from here on out is just cleared. You still have your 2 normal summons, you can just do whatever you want from there. You're gonna Star Leech, resummon back Galaxy Eyes from hand, and then that's it. That's game right there. Now this is supporting / optional archetypes you can use, but do take into consideration like Trance and War Drake. So we have Fiendsmith, as you know. It can't work in this deck. So what you're gonna do is it's pretty unique in its own aspect, like compared to the other decks that use it. You're gonna make a lot of like XYZ plays. So you could do all your normal Fiendsmith stuff. You could do like And you also have your own light fiends in this deck too with Curry Photon, Galactic Karibo. But you're mostly going to use like Lacrima and even Wardrake to make rank 4. But the negatives is it does require a lot of extra deck space when it's already like really compact. So that's one thing you should take into consideration also. And then we also have Horus. Horus Engine is still good to this day. Considering now Drag Luxion is now a thing, so that can also get you started. But if you need to make lore under 5 summons, then you can also do that. You could discard Mseti and Jumper for super value. Mseti gets Ash while you have like Jumper discarded. Then it's not like the end of the world. You could just go right back into the archetype. But as I say, can getting Ash on Mseti. And the other Horus monster that's also a brick. They can also come back every turn once you have the continuous spell is up. Now here we go. We're on to Tachyon. Also have like deck lists at the end if you want, if many you want though. So it will debut in 2013 as Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy. His most recent support was in Duel Supremacy, which was last year, but for Masters it was like in March. It is the far most like more competitive version by far, enabling transmigration to be used in both decks, which is now searchable. The strategy behind it is turboing out 107 backed up by the counter trap, along with like way more hand traps compared to at a cost. It is more linear and like very predictable. There is 2 versions you can play and get around similarly, which we will get to. So Safer is your level 4 dragon monster that belongs to Mizar and not used for Dragon Link Soup. So you can send any of the dragon monsters to the hand to graveyard. Add 1 dragon monster equals the same level. You're mostly going to do this for Cloud Dragon, which we will get to like next slide. But it is a 1.5 card combo, which does make you go net positive. So you're going to be adding back Primal along with getting a draw 1. Since Bystials are going to end your rotation with this. You will lose to Nib when doing this line when compared to other cards. That is a lot safer. So be careful or imagine they don't have it. You can play this at 3 or 2, it doesn't matter. So we're going to summon a Safer, send itself, add Cloud Dragon. Cloud Dragon will summon Primal from that, which will get you 7 attack. You're going to get a Lubellion off this and turn without a card. You're going to bench Cloud Dragon and then summon Lubellion off. Place Regain and then make Drag Luxion. You can get Transmigration or Spiral, but Transmigration first. Save for a banish yourself, get yourself a draw 1, and then there you go. And since you did this, you can get like a Bystial from that. It is pretty simple, but it's what does it. So Cloud Dragon, as you just saw, it's not really that many targets for it. It's just mostly Primal or 107 or any of the 107s that's in the graveyard. But if you summon a Dragon Xyz, you can attach this card to that monster's material. And it is effectively your Snake Eyes Poplar. And it can also chain block for Dre Luxion. It is also a 1.5 card combo, but it doesn't make you a draw 1. It isn't bad that open is either, just something you want to. This is something you don't want to normal. So this is like the best card in the level 8. It is effectively actually Exorcist or Martha, where you control no monsters. You can summon this and then one level 8 light or dark dragon monster from your. Then your dragon exits lock the turn this card active. Your targets for this are mostly Galactic Spiral, Afterglow Dragon, or Dark End Evaporation Dragon. And it is the most like nib safe line. It also happens to be very susceptible to act. So like run this after your best one of your best. So here it is. This is the nib line that is safe. So you may Dragon Lucian and summon them 3. You're gonna get Primal, which will then get you Transmigration. And then 107 should be your 5th summon. But also, they don't have anything. Spiral will revive back from graveyard. You can make Drag Lupion and then have Hope Harbinger. So that's like 2 interruptions at most. So as you just saw a Spiral Dragon, it will revive itself or summon from hand if you control 2 or more light dark dragon monsters. But banish it when it leaves. And also, you can make all your monsters become level 8 to the turn. It wasn't good that back then because up until Infinity Dragon came out, is your target for it now. You needed to make your second XZs or turn your Bestials into for further. And can come back every turn as long as it is material. You often play this on 1-2. As you saw with Primal, like the main star of the show, actually. There's Dragon XZs on the field. You could summon this card to either field. But its effects are also, all of them are mandatory. The owner of this card adds any Tachyon spell or trap from the deck to hand. So, if you do Cloud Dragon and summon Primal as 1, but if you have Primal in your hand, you can summon it to your opponent's field, and that's your second like Transmigration. And also, it has the funny attack of enabling like Talons, Thrust, stops cards that needs an empty board. It enables 107's like battle effect to go live. Run at 2 in Tachyon, and then 1 in Photon. Now for the spells and traps. We all know right here. This is about the spells and traps, but also like the bearing spell. 7 Tachyon is a normal spell with the following. Reveal 1 over 100 numbers, or 101 through 107. Add 1 monster with the same attribute and or type, along with being the same level as a corresponding number's rank. Add it to your hand, and then place 1 card from your hand to the top of it. The targets for these happen to be like Tachyon Dragon and Star Seraph Sentry, or the other one, Masquerade, which can get you level 4 lights and or level 8 dragon monster. Because of how big the search pool is, it does happen to include like fun cards, monsters, unfortunately. Has been used a lot of the XYZs that Ryzeal, X Sisters, and even Galaxy. You do run this at 3 in Tachyons and 1 in Photons because you're gonna need you still need your length for Photon. Ascension is basically it adds you 7 Tachyon, but if you're playing rank up, it helps you going second. Which we will get to later once I get over it. But you can activate this if your opponent controls the monster from the extra. The Spiral has like 3 effects. If you control like Galaxy Z's, destroy all cards your opponent controls, which effects are negated. Target 1 Tachyon card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Or target a dragon number monster in your graveyard, special summon it. It is versatile. If say 107 just gets like super polyed or like Kaiju, you can just revive it immediately. Or they don't. You essentially have like 3 copies of Transmigration. Because I play 2, but with this it becomes 3. And also, it's going second is good OTK. because of the first effect. Now, y'all know why you're here. This is like the best card that was like unsearchable for years up until like last year and now. You can activate if you control the Galaxy Eyes monster, negate the activation of your opponent's spells and trap cards and monster effect before this card in the chain. And if you do, shuffle all cards. Shuffle all cards that are negated on the field. You can also activate this from hand if you control 107. It is the most broken counter trap to date. Now it's finally searchable. Do run this at 2 in Photon and Tachyon.
Turn 1, Zexel, baby, let's go. Oh, left arm offering. That grass looks greener. Activate grass. Milling. Everything. Full royal, by the way. 3 royal rare Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons. Wow, there's just a Lightsworn hand. Oh my god! What's the chain link here? 9? 10? Is there more? 11? You're gonna hit the cap! Oh! Tachyon transmigration, negate everything in the chain. You gotta see this animation. It looks really funny right now. It's just that popping up for every card. Well, there it is. The first ever
The most I got actually was like Chain Link 3 or 4. But the extra deck for Tachyon is pretty much the same as like Photon with some minor differences. The Link 2 is entirely optional. It serves to be material for your draft, along with some other take options. Dragluxion is your generic rating with the following.
I'm gonna pause you really quick.
What happened?
People say they can't see the stream for some reason. I see it perfectly fine. But
Yeah, everybody else see it? Oh, what was it?
yeah,
see it
someone
fine.
I can see it fine, and Connie apparently can see it fine. Was that the case for everyone?
All right, I'm gonna put it back up now. See if there's people.
Before he goes any further, are we good? Because I still see it fine. All right, I'm going back down. Thanks.
All right, so continuing with Dragluxion is a generic rate, and upon it being special summon, not even Xyz summon, well, adds 1 Galaxy or Tachyon card from deck to hand. By detaching 2 materials, it can overlay itself into 1 rank 8 Dragon Xyz, whose attack is 3,000. Then you have the optional effect of attaching 1 Galaxy monster from your extra deck to it as material. It can get you started, and it can be made easy off Infinity Dragon. Your targets for this are usually 38, 107, or Dragluxion, or Dragluon in Cypher Dragon. Then it can attach the Link 2. It is often played at 2 in Tachyon and 1 in Photon. Dragluxion is a generic rank 8, but think of it as a more like balanced Bahamut Shark. So you can detach 1 material, take 2 dragon number monsters from your with different names from your extra deck, special summon 1 of them, and then you attach the other to it as material. But after this resolves, you cannot normal or special after. And you can only attack with that dragon monster. You can also make this on top like Dragluxion, as I said before. And your target for this going first is often Hope Harbinger, but going second is Numeron Dragon. Just be sure to do everything else beforehand before resolving this. So, Neuron Dragon is pretty simple. You're not making this the traditional way because it's like required to number these monsters with the same rank and same name. But by detaching one material, you gain attack equal to all combined ranks of these monsters on the field times 1,000. And its other secret effect, when destroyed by card effect, destroys many monsters as possible, minimum one. And that each player sets one spell trap from the graveyard. When an opponent's monster declares attack, and you have no cards in your hand or on field, you can special summon this from your graveyard. You rarely see like the other two effects, and mainly just your TK. So here it is, like also the main star of the show. 107 is a generic rank 8 with the following effect. During the start of the battle phase, you can attach one material to negate the effects of all monsters on field. Then, if a card or effect activates during battle and it resolves, it gains 1,000 attack each time and it can attack one more time. It will enable like your more broken spells and traps, but be careful when using the effect because they'll permanently negate all monsters, including your own. Players had 2 in Tachyon deck, and then 1 for Photon. Here we are. Optional cards are for Tachyon and can help in some situations. Dragon's Light and Darkness is a quick play spell with the following effect. Shuffle in 1 level 8 dragon monster from your hand with a different, then add 1 level 8 dragon monster with a different attribute. The second one is just an attack gain, but the third one is why I use. When a card or effect targets a dragon monster you control, you can negate that effect. So it's really as good for like protecting you from like imperms or veilers. On your important cards like drag Lucian or Primal. And it can also like help you on break sometimes. Do play that too, if you really want to. Now this is top deck the card. To activate this, you must draw it for your draw phase and keep it revealed until the start of your main phase. At the same turn, you can immediately special summon from your extra deck or graveyard 1 number monster with numbers between 101 and 107. They rank it up to its chaos form. With a once per dual clause. Your targets for this are usually like C107 in Tachyon or 104. Since 104 will actually like it can negate a monster effect, hand rip you for 1 and then halves your life points. But it is optional and can break, so play that 1 if you really want to. It helps going second. And this is what you're gonna be summoning off of the rank of spell or 7 Ascension. It is effectively a worse Kali Yuga, so detach 1 material to negate all face-up cards and effects on the field. And if it resolves, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects on the field either. Then if it has 1 of Summon's material, contribute 2 of your monsters to make 3 attacks on your opponent's own. But this is what makes Transmigration also alive too. So, and it will force on like interruption like most of the time. And also have a replay going second. Look. So it is just a normal like Centurion Bestial combo. But I do imperm the synchro this one instead of Auxilla. Which I should have done instead. So they have 2 set, and then a Bestial on the hand, and then ready for a quick synchro next turn. So I go ahead, activate 7 Ascension, which I'm going to get the rank up spell like right now. What they didn't do, they didn't like synchro immediately. So I make the 107. And now Transmigration is now live. So surprisingly, I was able to activate this, and then it gets a fake railer, so you know what happens next. Transmigration. And now they effectively can't play the game. I shut them off. The only thing that can interact with me now is the cards from graveyard and from hand. So I can make Drag Lucian. That gets Visio, but it doesn't even matter at this point. They can't do nothing. Make Hope Harbinger. It doesn't really matter at this point. I have people. Use a quick play to destroy all cards and then that are negated, not ones that aren't. Then there you go. That's lethal right there. Archetypes that you will need to play to make, because I talked about like the main deck or Mizar's deck, but this is the other archetypes that you will need to make a function, since that was the base. You're gonna play this with Bestials, but it's also like you're in engine and non-engine at the same time. The only being an 8 makes it better. You're gonna be using Magnum Hunt to add Primal from hand, or if you already had it, you can use Juice from Ball Drake. Regain is also good in the grind. Trickstars are meant for your rank 4s. So you're also going to use like Light Stage to get Candina. And then Candina on normal will add Aqua Angel. Aqua Angel will summon herself. And then that's your rank 4 right there. Which will enable you to get Overlay to Galaxy Photon Dragon and then get Primal, and that's your full combo right there. And you can also play Eternal Galaxy to rank up Galaxy Photon Dragon into a Photon Lord. Which will then also be like the second way you get Primal. So here's the example. This also makes a talent slot. There you go. It also makes a Schwarzschild live too. So here's the turn 1 purposes for Cyber Dragon. Because you're going to be sealing back your Primal. So I make Lord. So what they're going to do is they're going to go Battle Phase and try to evenly match me, but that's not going to happen. They can't summon the Cashier or use evenly match, and that's it. So the strength and weaknesses of Tachyon can single-handedly make strong boards and stop chain blocks whenever. And Primal being able to just prevent cards that need an empty field to. It is more hand trap heavy than Photons that won't lose to Droplet, since 107 doesn't do anything. You can make up to 4 interruptions, like 2 transmigrations, 3 sometimes. With Spiral, 38 Bestials or Lord. If 107 does get removed, you can just summon it back. And it has more starters compared to Photon. And negatives of it is very linear and very predictable. it can boost to like common hand traps like Ash on the Fifty Dragon, which is like really bad. Imperm Drake Lucian or Primal, Droll, the Fool, the Molcharm is if you get Biscuit on Spiral. And if 107 gets called by as you try to use a quick play, then it'll also be bad. And you can also break like occasionally, and fear the set Albat. There's also the website that I put up here if you also need help too. So that here's the website. It's still like some parts are still under construction. I wasn't like in any part of this. This was like before my time. So if you need like any assistance, you just go here. But that being said, here's the deck list. Here's the deck list I have, and I'm also going to talk about like the new cards we just have. I'm gonna change. So you are an Omega. The supporting tech cards, Trickstar, Tachyon, and then what I play. So this is like it's pretty like fine as is. This is like TCG, Master Duel. Well, Master Duel I will have like play 2 max on here. I'll have to like change. But this is like mainly for TCG. The side deck I still gotta like having to change. But this is like pretty normal. That's what you're gonna be playing. You can play Wizard like at 1 if you want to. Then here's what I have for Bestial Tachyon. It does match like my Master 1 deck, just a little bit different. Nothing like really like changed at all. You're gonna be banishing this for Dark End, but you don't have to play Dark End. You can also play like Afterglow and Galaxy Eyes package. Side deck I also gotta like fix too. Also, if you are going second, a neat trick is playing C107. You can reveal it, then add the Kaiju. And then here's my deck list for a Trickstar attack. So also it's like fairly simple. This is going to be like your rank 4 enabler, and then that gets you started. Then Life Stage is also good going second because it prevents one spell and trap card being activated until the end phase. And it isn't once per turn either on adding Trickstar monster. Okay, so I'll go over this like very like quickly. There is new cards, but none of these aren't really that good. So we got Revelations. Revelations of Hope will just is like what quick XYZ, but it just sends one level 8 dragon monster control to the graveyard and special summons one rank 8 dragon XYZ and is treated as XYZ. That's all it does. It does come from the manga as far as long as the other two. Journey is like pretty bad. All it does is like resummon one of your banished light or darks. So, but if an XYZ monster you control is banished, you can banish his card and target one of those that got banished. Special summon it. Here we go. This is the shining version of Hope Harbinger. It isn't that good. You can rank this up on top of Hope Harbinger. You can it gains 200 attack for each material attached to it. You can target on spell speed 1, target 2 spells and traps your opponent controls, attach them to the cards material. But those targeted cards, yeah.
Real quick, we have a question. Someone wants to know if Photon Tachyons are the strongest galaxy variant, or is it a Tachyon plus random engine, aka anything that isn't Photon, that's more powerful?
Yeah, Tachyon's more powerful at the moment. The Bestial and Trickstar are the most like consistent ones.
All right, all right. There you have it.
I mean, you can also go, the way Connie does it and play, one of his crazy scientist builds.
Could always go Photon Tachyon
Yeah,
Fiendsmith.
or but well, Millennium, I don't know because he just got hit. So, but if you want a Decklist rumor, you could just ask him like later if you really.
Mhm.
But anyways, Dispel and Traps cannot be like activated in response to this card activation, but by detaching one, it could attack directly, so it can enable like Zeus plays if you really need it. Yeah, but then like that's really about it. If anybody has any like questions or want to like ask me or Connie.
Don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah, we're here if you need anything.
Okay, so why was 7 Tachyon at 1 in the Photon build? Why not 3?
Oh, because you still need your links in Photon, but if you draw it, it's not that bad either. You're just gonna be locked out of link. At that point, you could probably go into Draglucian lines, and instead of like using trans, you can get like numbers last hope.
So essentially, 7 Tachyons at 1 because you want to focus more on links. We want access to Soul Flare as much as
Yeah,
possible.
you still need like Soul Flare.
So, alright, another question. Do you feel like your 3-headed tower isn't always the best win con, given you have Tachyon support now? Essentially, when facing a field full of monsters, for example, how Snake Eye, Fiendsmith can recur shields when they expend all their interactions.
C107 is mostly like going second. It will force out like just a lot of interruption, but you're never summoning a turn 1 unless you're like playing it for the other trap card, Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, which does become spell speed 4.
I think he's referring to C62 as the 3-headed tower, given its monster protection.
Oh, I guess, but yeah, it's also like going second if you need like just this is like safer to go into if you need like
All right.
OTK and not worry about like monsters like affecting C2.
So essentially, C107 and C62 are primarily going to be going second. You do not usually want to end on either of those going first. You want to end on your Photon Lord, your Hope Harbinger, your Galaxy Photon Dragon, your Photon Blast Dragons, and maybe sometimes your Soul Flare.
And if you don't have one of stuff, you could just set transmigration. It still works.
Mm-hmm.
What cards will be better?
Right.
It needs more starters. Like starters that can just special summon themselves and then do stuff on normal or special.
All right. So before we go into the other question, I want to get through this follow-up question real quick. How exactly do you handle mirror matches?
Well, I can't really say that much. We only have a couple mirror matches, but it's pretty much it's kind of toxic, especially like for primal, because like mirror
Still
matches
their
like
hope.
yeah, it's kind of toxic, like to say the least. At least for Photon like variants, like those mirror matches are kind of toxic. I should know. Me and Connie dueled once in mirror match.
We met each other randomly in ranked. He got to go
Yeah, it was
first,
it was like Master 4 or something.
and then he used transmigration on Soldier Jumper. All right. Now let's do the other question. If you run 3/7 Tachyons, do you also run some copies of the Light and Darkness Dragon spell to protect from failure and perm, and as an extra consistency piece?
Oh, I played 2 of the quick play spells. I'll play 3/7 Tachyon, since the quick play spell requires another level 8 like dragon monster. But it is good for the targeting protection.
All right. And we have another one. What cards would the archetype need to be better than it currently is?
It just needs like more starters, stuff that do on normal or special,
So,
and not being like that very normal summon reliant, and also like cut out just a lot of the extenders it has already.
so something like if you control no monsters, or if you control a galaxy or photon monster, special summon this card from your hand. No chain link, by the way. That's important. You don't want to have a chain link.
Yeah,
And then,
the way Vanisher works too, like how it's summoned.
yes. And then after that, the effect would be add either a monster or a spell to the hand.
So pretty much like Excel Light, except it wasn't bad. Which is like, is Hero Lives, but like 7 times worse.
And we have, this one's spicy. If Dark Matter Dragon was legal, would it help the deck? Or would it only be problematic in generic dragon decks?
It will be more problematic in generic dragon decks.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. If in the past, during Dragon Rollers, you would probably send the Dragon Rollers, or if you didn't play Dragon Rollers, you would probably send a combination of Safer, Nebula, and Spiral Dragon. But that was in the past. If that card was unleashed now, the modern Dragon Sport, it would be hella busted. Since it polishes 3 as cost.
Then it banishes like 3 cards from your opponent's deck, like on top.
Oh, they can choose, by the way. So in some decks, that would actually help.
Yeah, like you go against a Thunder Dragon player or a Malice.
So, all right. Let's see. With Ryceal on the horizon, with Galaxy 100 Beacons, Sitter and Tachyon builds, would be an argument in favor of Photon builds, since you could steal good exceeds.
No, it really depends. If they're like number monsters, then yeah, you can go for it. But with Ryzeal as an example, you can just banish their detonators and then you just can't do anything about it.
With the Ryceals,
But-
their primary rank 4 options for number monsters would be Baguska. So it could be helpful, but only if they run Baguska. Most of them will likely be running much more powerful options than that.
Yeah, like Abyss Dweller, for example.
Ooh, yes.
Wait, no, isn't Abandonment?
This fella got banned because of them.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And also prepare to see 7 Tachyon being limited or semi-limited because that deck. So just think I know that because it already is limited to 1 in OCG.
All right. Here's another one. What are the matches like for the deck in TCG? Use Mitsu, Malice, Raicio as examples.
Malice Mitsu I haven't really fought at all. Mitsu it can be like hard. Raizo can be like doable. It just depends on like what your hand is.
So for the Raicio, so for that one in specifically, it depends on what they ended on. If they were forced to end on Detonator Pass, if you were playing Tachyon build and you had Schwartz, and if you were playing 62 OTK build, then you would win that matchup because Schwartz, when it activates from hand, so Raicio can't pop anything just yet. And then when you get the 2 level 8s, your Schwartz, your Afterglow, you can overlay into 62 immediately, and then go straight into the battle phase. And then because 62 activates in the damage step, the detonator cannot react. So, boom, OTK.
You also gotta be worried about the field spell too, because it just negates monster.
Mhm.
But for Malice, it's still like unclear. I don't know. Like, I haven't fought that deck that much. But I would just assume it's like hard because what they make.
Malice is going to be... That's a pretty difficult matchup for most decks, to be honest. The only real advice is you need to
search Artifact Lancia and pray.
Exactly. We have a searcher for Artifact Lancia. You just gotta make sure to get the rank 5 light searcher. Let's see. That should be C102. Which coincidentally also lets you search Galaxy Soldier. So both Photon builds and the Tachyon builds can have an easy matchup if you go first against them. You just gotta make sure to use your search specifically for Artifact Lancia. Going second, however, that's pretty miserable. You just gotta hard open Lancia and hope for the best. Alright. And
your other hand trap.
Mm-hmm. And then we have one more. We have another one. Why don't y'all run the best Galaxy card? Alright, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Oh, Galactic Karibo. Why don't we run Galactic Karibo?
I mean, Connie was like for the Fiendsmith, right?
You gotta be playing a pretty specific build for Galactic Karibo. Fiendsmith, what's the reason why I was playing Galactic Karibo? Otherwise, it's a brick. Let's see. Like, in Fiendsmith builds, if you open up Galactic Karibo, you would normal summon the Galactic Karibo, and then you go straight into Fiendsmith build. And if that gets stopped, and if that gets stopped, pray you have Galaxy 100 to send Galaxy Photon Emperor to the graveyard to get that second normal summon back, and hope that you actually have a second normal summon.
Yeah, normal summon Lacrima.
Alright, let's see. Will Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Barons have a tougher time against the new Malice or Cyber support?
Wait, what happened?
Question. So, the question was, will the Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Barons have a tougher time against the new Malice or Cyber supports?
Yeah, I think it will, but in some situations, if you're just going first, then you can deal with them pretty relatively easily. But going second is like a complete nightmare for most decks, and even this one.
Yeah. For going second is open up Lancia or play full board breaker builds. And even then, the board breaker builds will have a pretty tough time since it's multi-layer interactions. Alright. Is playing Galaxy Trance still worth it? Since it helps make a Galaxy Photon Dragon or for OTK Lion?
It is definitely still worth it. There's like no card that can replace it, since it just summons one from graveyard and one from deck. That's like instant rank
Yes.
4 plays.
Alright, so in my opinion, Galaxy Trance is 100% still worth it to play. Even when I was experimenting with my decks with Galaxy Fiendsmith, Galaxy Trance is still always in consideration since it is since it's 2 level 4s equals Galaxy Photon Dragon. And as you say, it's also for the OTK line. So even though it locks you out, it's still worth it to play because it's just that damn good. Alright, a Graveyard Revive and an E-Telly all in the same card. So, another one. With the new ritual support cards being added, could Paladin Photon see any play?
Not really. Like, it's just more of a brick in the deck. And you're probably not playing rituals like ever.
Even back in the day, the ritual support was specifically just to turbo out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
Yeah. Bro, I did this in like the ritual festival. That was still there.
Oh my goodness. If you want to play ritual cards and galaxies, there's been a storm in the Galaxy server talking about the Mitsu Galaxy, or
Yeah,
actually
Mitsu
Tachyon.
I don't know that much about that variant yet. I don't know that many pieces of cards. So
It's-
that's like unclear for me.
From what I understand, is you're using the Mitsu in order to turbo out Dragluxion in order to get to your Tachyon place. Now, as for how good it is, apparently is really good. However, at the end of the day, it's been concluded by them that you're just playing worse Mitsu. You're elevating Tachyon by bringing down Mitsu.
Okay, so how to counter Ash negates an Abyssal Tachyon deck while playing. It all comes down to sequencing. What you're like willing and hoping they like stop, and then you use this like other card to like make your big plays. But it's really it comes down to like, are they gonna like interrupt this, or like wait for your like other cards to go off? But it just comes down, like as I said before, sequencing. Like, what are you willing to like use first to like bait out?
All right, so how to counter Ash against. It really depends on what you heart open and like what Sansa said is what you're willing to play first. So if you open up just the one starter, then of course you're going to lose to a single Ash no matter what. If you open up more than one starter and they're all usable, then what you get ashed on is what is going to affect your end build. So say that you started with Tachyon Cloud Dragon and Sworce Chow. If the Tachyon Cloud Dragon gets ashed, then there's no issue. Just go into Sworce Chow. If your Sworce Chow, if you started with Sworce Chow's burst and that gets ashed, then you normal summon the Tachyon Cloud Dragon, go into Primal, and then get the 7 Tachyon to go into Bestial Lubellion. And there's your rank 8. And your 2 transmigrations with the Bestial.
Yeah, you can also do this with safer tubes.
Now, the big issue here is 7 Tachyon itself being ashed, because if you normal summon a Cloud Dragon, that goes through. Now you have the Primal on the field, but the Primal gets either ashed or the say the 7 Tachyon gets ashed. Then you would have a body on the field, turn 1, with no way to get to the sword, with no way to get the sword shells out. So, if you started with Tachyon Cloud Dragon and Swords, you start off with Swords, since it's safer if that gets ashed.
Yes, and to answer the other question, can you use Mathmech instead of Trickstar? Hell no. Mathmech isn't that good. Plus the Cyber, so I don't really want to use it.
Ooh.
But anything you want to say, Connie, about using Mathmech?
So in the past, I tried to use Mathmech instead of for Photon builds before. It was essentially you use Circular to send one of the other Mathmech cards. It's not Sigma. I think it's like Lambda or something.
Is
Either
Nabla.
way, Namla, yeah. And it the end board was pretty good, but the overall issue with that is it's not very consistent. Since you're not using Sigma, and you can't use Sigma because if you use Sigma, well, your Cyber's locked.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, is it possible if I'm dragging in my hand to use a spell like 7 Tachyon, hoping to make the opponent 7 Tachyon gets Ash? Yeah, you can still use it. But they Ash 7 Tachyon and you go for it. You go for Infinity Dragon. Because at that point, the Ash was like pretty bad. Because 7 Tachyon will put the card like after you reveal. But if you reveal it, then it gets Ash, and you don't have to put anything back. So it's not like a negative or a -2. Connie got anything to say?
now I'm just looking for another question. Anyone else got any questions? We got someone in the chat typing. Let's see what they have.
You know what? Connie, what do you think? Should you put him in jail?
Yes.
Yes. All I needed to hear. Bro, you're like this in our server too. I don't want to hear anything from you.
For the crime of standing for Mathmech, we sentence you to jail.
I wish you a very bestial magma.
All right.
But I think that should be about it. Unless someone has
Yeah.
one more
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Nah. I think at this point it's just
Yeah.
everyone dogpiling him on liking Mathmech. I could not, but hey. But no, thank you guys. Greatly
Yeah, no problem.
appreciate you.
Yeah, it was fun being here. It was fun answering the questions.
And if you need like assistance, the website is still there. I will put it somewhere if we need it. The combo website.
Yeah. The fact that you guys have a website is so good, bro. Oh.
A website so good, source stolen.
What do you? Oh, there's one last question.
What do you think ironically works that gets more?
Alright. Let's see what the question is.
I don't know. There's like, I think a Horus gets more support because there's no, I don't know what. As I already listed, like the optional archetypes you can play this with, but it really just depends what can like mesh well with it. I guess Cypher, they want to like bridge that into Galaxy Photon, but then Cypher is just kind of bad as it is. Because right now, Photon and Galaxy is like considered Omni Galaxy because you're playing like every card from like all like 4 archetypes.
Cypher Galaxy will never be a thing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Alright, I'm going to cut the recording now.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining in.